Hi guys, we know people on GB News are only happy to pour scorn on asylum seekers, so it must have been gold when some of their guests heard the news that the Tories want to punish homeless people with fines and possible jail time. Here Suzanne Evans, a former UKIPer, was invited onto the show for some reason. And what did she do? Well, claim that people's properties are going to be compulsory purchased for asylum seekers. Why? Well, it's part of some sinister plot to do away with property rights. Is this true? Of course not.
Suzanne, where are we going to put these people? The uncomfortable truth, as far as I can see it, is that we are going to have tent cities of asylum seekers popping up around the UK.
Well, I think you summed it up beautifully, Patrick, just the huge pressure that we're seeing now on accommodation, and that does seem to be the only answer. But I'm actually a little bit more worried than that, because I think this is all getting very sinister now. We know that we've had people who have been told that their properties are going to be compulsory purchased for asylum seekers. That pretty much tears up private property rights in this country. I was listening to the radio on the way here, and they were talking about a massive problem facing Britain, which was older people living in houses that were, quote, too big for them. Who's got a right to tell you your house is too big for you? You should be allowed to live where you darn well like. And the implication was very clear. These elderly people are taking houses that they shouldn't have. And I fear that's a worry, that there'll be some kind of move to get them out of those houses.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Is there any evidence to back up this claim? None whatsoever. Has she actually presented anything? Of course not. Now, what is she referring to? I think what she's referring to are two stories that were in the media, in the right wing, in the Daily Mail in particular. One is, I think, from February, and another is from I'm not sure when. But in one of the stories, an elderly couple received a letter from the council asking, is your house occupied at the moment? Because what we would like to do is we would like to put asylum seekers into empty properties that are empty in the area. Now, the elderly couple were not too happy about it, and they replied, or they went to the council and complained. They later received a letter of apology from the council. I think the other story was related to another elderly couple who owned a property, not their own home, but a property that, once again, the council had reached out to them and asked, is this property empty? Because we'd like to put people into it. I don't know whether it was asylum seekers or just British people. But the response was, once again, the people were angry. How dare you look into whether this property is empty or not? It's none of your business. And it seems that the property itself was derelict. So the council had seen, these are empty properties. Let's reach out to the owners and see if they're available for sale or to rent. Now, the council obviously don't have the resources. Over the last 14 years, resources have been cut back on. They don't have the resources to go and check. So what do? They send out a flurry of letters to the owners and say, look, is this property available? Yes or no? I don't know why people would be angry about that. Now, this is not a compulsive purchase order. The council is not kicking people out of their homes and putting in asylum seekers. But of course, the right wing, including the Daily Mail or GB News or whatever, what they want to do is push this idea that, well, you know, the right wing hate asylum seekers. What we need to do is pour as much scorn on asylum seekers as possible. And here's a perfect story. The idea that the council, you know, people are paying their council taxes or whatever. The council is coming along and it's kicking elderly people in particular out of their homes and replacing those elderly people with asylum seekers. Old people, what are they doing? Banging about in these larger than necessary homes, kick them out and put in foreigners. That's what they want to that's what they want to sell to the public. Is there any evidence? None whatsoever. If they actually had evidence of this, they should present it, instead of inviting these ex-UKIPers on to just push this narrative. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.